This segment of Dirt Diggler's Shitty Sports Show was brought to you by ESPN. We picked your idols for you. Remember Tim Tebow? You do now.
Warning. Pregnant women, the elderly, and children under 16 should avoid prolonged exposure to Dirt Diggler. Dirt Diggler may suddenly accelerate to dangerous speeds. Dirt Diggler has high gluten content and is not kosher, halal, or vegan safe. Do not ingest Dirt Diggler, as Dirt Diggler is for external use only. Discontinue listening to Dirt Diggler if any of the following occurs: itching, vertigo, dizziness, discoloration of urine, tingling in extremities, loss of balance or coordination, slurred speech, temporary blindness, profuse sweating, heart palpitations, increased use of profanity. If listening to Dirt Diggler gives you an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, you're welcome. Listening to Dirt Diggler may lead to unplanned pregnancies. If Dirt Diggler begins to smoke, get away immediately. Seek shelter and cover head. Dirt Diggler may stick to certain types of skin. When not in use, Dirt Diggler should be returned to a special container and kept under refrigeration. The ingredients of Dirt Diggler include, but are not limited to, a glowing substance which fell to the earth, presumably from outer space, and bad memories. Do not taunt Dirt Diggler. Dirt Diggler does not come with a lifetime guarantee. Dirt Diggler. Enjoy the show.
What's going on? It is the Dirt Diggler, the dirtiest Diggler to ever Diggler for Dirt Cut Diggler.
That's right.
And to my left, as always, the illustrious
Kenny the Dork, unapologetically New England.
And this is Dirt Diggler's Shitty Sports Show where the beer is cold and the takes are fucking hot. God damn it, I'm your host, Dirt Diggler. Always here. But yeah,
Are you cutting a WWE promo, bro?
Man, you know, The Rock's daughter. Have you seen her? She's going into wrestling.
Yeah, I heard about that.
She looks very much like The Rock.
No way.
That is without a doubt his daughter.
Yeah.
Like very much like her dad. She looks a lot like.
What's her name? Crystal?
I think so, but she looks a lot like her dad. Like
Sorry,
a ton. Honestly, I just got the joke, but I think her name's actually Crystal. Which is, they're fucking minerals, Marie. God damn it. Fucking minerals, not rocks. All right, so yeah.
But you got the minerals.
Yeah, it's all right. So let's get down to really why we're here today, everyone. It's been like fucking several fortnights since we've done a show, and you're probably sitting in your house wondering why, or not. I mean, who fucking thinks about us, right? So
Everybody, damn it.
Well, you would hope so, right? But
everybody thinks we're on The Masked Singer too. I mean, even though it's obvious the White Tiger is Rob Gronkowski.
Oh my God, is he giant?
God,
he
dances just like him, talks just like him. They dropped heavy hints during his introduction. Oh it's him.
That's fucking Masked
It's
Singer.
him.
Brandon likes the Masked Singer. He's a big fan.
Yeah, I know. He and I were talking about it the night it premiered.
Yes. But yeah, so the reason why we took several forced hiatuses this season was honestly because life was kicking the living shit out of us for both good and bad reasons, right? Just a very, very busy year in both the Dork and Diggler households.
Yes.
A lot of good shit happening, a lot of bad shit happening. As what happens with life, right? So
take the good, take the bad. That's the facts of life.
Yeah, I want to start it off with the good news, right? Because I believe Kenny's got a lot of good news that he can share, and I have some shitty news that I just need everyone to bring it back down to a respectable level. So we start off with the high shit, bring it down back to the depression shit, and then we get into the show, and then you'll be good again.
All right. So 48 days from today, I will be wed to my lovely Lady Dork.
Yes. God, I remember you guys started dating.
Yeah, I know. I remember you guys were all on the show pressuring me like, is she your girlfriend yet? Is she your girlfriend yet?
Yeah, dude, we were so happy for you, and we're so happy now. This is great.
And if you look and you listen to the history of the show, you hear the progression of everything. It's like a recorded history.
It really does capture the evolution of your relationship with Lady Dork.
It does.
I remember when you first called her Lady Dork.
I know.
Kind of official, made official at that point. Huh?
Yeah. And I remember when you, having never met her, when we were talking about our first date, you said I went out with a classy lady.
Yeah.
You could just smell it, couldn't you?
Classy lady, man.
That wasn't my fart either.
Classy lady.
Classy lady.
They're always classy. Either way.
Yeah, but we're doing the thing in Las Vegas, flying out in about 7 weeks, doing it live at the Paris Las Vegas.
Do eat.
And then after that, we're going to go home and start making little dorklets.
Oh, my God. Brace yourselves, everyone.
Yeah. By this time next year, I should be changing diapers.
You let me know how it works out, buddy.
Maybe not this time next year, but close.
So, if you guys need help with the whole parenting thing, let me know. I've been doing it for a little bit. I do like to play with other people's kids because I know that at the end of the day I can go here and give them back and then wander back
that's
off.
what I've loved about having, like nieces and nephews.
Yeah, but see, you can't do that.
Not anymore.
No, for the first little while you can, because you can put them on the floor and go somewhere and come back and they're right there where you left them. Right?
Yeah, once they get mobile, it's over.
Once they go mobile, you're on
Terrified.
suicide. You're on suicide watch until they leave the house.
Blue light.
No, seriously. Like, as a parent, the first few months of having a child in the house, it's amazing, right? I mean, yeah, it sucks because they wake up like all the time to eat and poop and do other things, right? But then they start sleeping through the whole night, and you're like, this is fucking great. They interact with you, but they can't move. They can't run off. They can't scoot away. And then they start moving, and you're so proud. And then you realize what that means, right? Because I remember D1 literally climbing the baby gate.
Oh, yeah.
So once they go mobile, you're now keeping themselves from hurting themselves, which is part of the challenge. And then they become really mobile because they become like drivers and they're still young. And it's a different kind of suicide watch. But it's all there. You're just trying to keep the kid grow up enough to go, this is a bad idea and I shouldn't do this. Instead of, let's see what happens. You know what? Maybe I can ride the dog through the house. Don't fucking ride the dog through the house.
I mean, we've all been there and done that.
I mean, yeah, certainly. But yeah. So it's good. You guys are gonna have a blast. A very sleep deprived blast. You're gonna subscribe to certain Facebook groups like The Dad, and not the worst parents, not the worst mom ever. Things like that where you can understand the humor.
and we're gonna like figure out like the debate between is the baby gonna wear Boston stuff or Baltimore stuff? It's Boston.
Okay, you say that now. But it's going to be Baltimore because the baby's here. Cheer for the local team, man.
I got a lot of that.
Or you should say fuck it and just make the baby a Phillies fan, and that way everybody fucking hates the baby.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, just make the baby a Phillies fan.
What we were thinking of doing was something completely not...
Better than Washington.
Chargers.
Really? What? That would double the Chargers fan base by adding the baby.
Oh,
yeah, high five, my friend. Yeah, that was a zinger, yes.
Yes, that was very good.
That's
yes.
good, yeah, that's good. So,
all right, and I'm going to turn it over to the Dirt because you're going to...
Yeah, so things haven't been all that great with the life thing. I mean, yeah, we're eating, right? We have shelter and we have running water, electricity, all that shit. We have a roof. That's great. But I am currently mourning the loss of my father-in-law, Yoshimitsu Higa. He died in Okinawa, Japan recently. My wife's been out there for the past month. She's going to be there until the early March. My oldest daughter, after he died, we got her on a plane and we sent her ass out there to help with all of that. She wanted to, be there to lay her grandfather to rest, who, of course, she loved very much. That's her granddad. It's her Gigi. And also, I'm mourning the loss of my CIO from work, Joe Jankowskis, who died at the tender age of 48.
Wow.
And I'm not quite sure exactly what he was ailing from, but I know he was ailing from something. He was having a tough time. And I saw him a few weeks ago when I was leaving work, and he did not look good. Next thing I know, I hear he's in ICU. And I'm like, well, holy shit, I hope he gets better, but they're going to let him out next week. And I'm like, all right, to me, he's going to spend some time at home on the mend, and he'll be back in the office. And then I'm off, taking care of my own medical shit. And I get a text saying that he passed. And I'm like, what? No way. He was a soldier. He had done like 8 years in the army. He was a soldier. He was a CI. He was my boss's boss, and he wasn't a bad guy. I didn't necessarily agree with everything the vision that he had for where we were going. But for the first time since I've been there was a vision of where we were going.
Right.
So, I mean, I could deal with that. He was a stabilizing factor in the office, and as much of a loss as it is for his family. Because they're losing a father, a brother, things like that. They're losing a husband. We lose a leader, and now it's going to be Lord of the Flies in there.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking forward to that at all. But that's, I have a neck surgery next month where they're going to put a whole bunch of new metal in me. All right? So that's exciting.
Be a metalhead.
No. That will be a skull implant, which And then maybe next on the list, depending on if I run my head through a wall, if the Eagles manage to do anything next year. But right now, we're working on the neck. It's service-related, so fucking ka-ching for the VA if they don't screw me over on my claim. But hey, man, it's what it is, and that's part of life. Honestly, the loss of life is an inevitable part of life. And as much as it saddens me to have put a man as amazing as Yoshimitsu Higa, to have lost him out of my life, I'm glad that my family attended his funeral instead of the other way around. You know, he lived a full life to about 80 years old. You know, he survived World War II. He helped bring into the world my wife and her sister and all the other things. He was a great father, a great provider for them. You know, my wife, of course, you know, that was her dad. That was her daddy.
Right.
So, you know, it's a big thing. And but he was dying from cancer, and you know, I'm glad that the pain is done. I just wished we could have had a few more healthy years with him. But that's not what the cards held for us. So that's where we're at. And he's at peace now. He's in the family tomb. And my oldest daughter just arrived home from Japan today. And so my family will be back together in the home before my neck surgery, which is big. There's a big thing. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's all sucks. That definitely fucking sucks. Like I said, but that's part of life. You know, right. You got to deal with these things, and it's really unfortunate. On the plus side, though, I officially got promoted. I don't know if I covered that before in a previous episode because it's been so long, but I did get a promotion at work.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And like I said, everyone's otherwise in good health and still kicking. So that's always good to have that. And we get to come in and close out season 4 today.
Yes.
Also,
the abbreviated is in my bid.
Yeah. Also, I attended a poker party. A good friend of mine hosted down in Arlington.
Might this be the strawberry moonshine incident?
This is the strawberry. It's not really an incident. It was just like consume mass quantities. So I was at this poker party where we're playing Texas Hold'em poker, but none of us know how to play Texas Hold'em poker. None of us know how to play poker, right? So the poker party, part of the fun is learning how to play the game, I guess. So one of the other guests heard I was coming, and so she's like, well, I have to bring this strawberry moonshine for him because that's something he would like. And I'm like, I certainly will be drinking the fuck out of this. And so I did. And it was like a large jar of strawberry moonshine. Not like a little mason jar, like a fucking big-ass jar. And I drank about that whole jar. On
top
about
of that life.
I needed decompression time for this guy. Yeah. So I drank that, and then I drank some scotch, and then I drank Irish whiskey, Redbreast, really good. Redbreast. Good Irish whiskey, my friend. This message brought to you by Redbreast. So, seriously, if you're listening, hit us up.
Yeah.
We
always need sponsors.
We're classy as fuck on this show.
We've always needed sponsors.
Please, God, sponsor.
Please sponsor our show. Give us money.
Give us money. I need to buy. Oh, we built a table?
Yes, we built
a fucking workbench. This thing's goddamn bulletproof. And I got stools because it's super tall, and now we get to sit in stools and seem a little bit more official as we do the show. So there's been some good progress, during the times we weren't recording. We were building stuff.
Yep.
Which was just good. But yeah.
So if we record audio samples while sitting in the stools,
are those stool samples?
Yes. God damn it, Kenny.
Fucking not even a dad yet, killing it with the dad jokes. Man, this is gonna be great.
Oh, I'm ready with the dad jokes.
I see you're ready.
Yeah, I'm no longer a Padawan learner.
No, you're advanced with the dad jokery. That's good.
Strong with it.
Strong. So without further ado, Kenny, if you would please cover today's schedule.
Of course, sir. So, as we always do with our show, after we've done the how are we run down the hometown happenings. Boston and Philadelphia will be covered today. Then we're gonna, deal with the somber news of the death of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 other people in the helicopter crash in California a couple weeks ago.
Calabasas.
Yep. We're gonna run down the Houston Astros and call them dirty fucking cheaters.
And the Red Sox.
Yeah, there may be some issue with the Red Sox in there too. An investigation's still pending.
No way.
Then we're going to go into a brief summary of the NFL postseason.
Yay.
You know, because we're going to lead off with what happened to our teams, because our teams played on Wild Card Weekend and we're out by the end of Wild Card Weekend.
Yes.
Which, you know, I know you were happy with because, hey, your team made it.
So 2 different arcs here.
Yeah.
2 different storylines.
It was a little weird for me.
They're both pretty interesting to cover, and I'm looking forward to enthusiastically covering the entire playoff thing, because the best case scenario actually is played out.
Says you.
No, the best case scenario, given what happened at Wild Card Weekend, that's what happened.
All right.
I mean, ultimately, the best case scenario for me is the Eagles fucking somehow winning the whole thing, but that's wow. That would have
the best
literally
case
taken
for
an
me
act of
was
God.
Tom Brady winning another one.
No, that's not good for anyone else, though.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
So, you know, we're going to cover that. We're going to go over our outlooks for 2020.
gonna go. Yep. How's it looking?
How's it looking? We'll briefly touch upon the XFL and yay.
Yep.
I mean, hey, it had a good first day, but
It did.
I don't think I'm going to watch anymore because fuck Vince McMahon and his anti-kneeling ass.
I mean, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a league bylaw that says you can't kneel during the anthem.
Yeah, but we still watch the NFL, so
Paid patriotism, fuckers.
I'm just
Yep.
saying it's
Yeah, we can't sit here and
Kinda-
say, shovel shit on them, I guess. You're right.
yeah. I mean,
And then, of course, our shitty hot takes, and I don't think we have a shitty beer this week.
no. So I gotta make sure my blood sugar's a certain way, and so I gotta abstain for the most part from drinking, out of solidarity because Mrs. Diggler couldn't drink while she is over in Japan because
Yeah.
she had to be able to go back to the hospice care, and Japan has some really, really stringent DUI laws
Right.
to where they have DWDI.
Yes.
Which is driving while drinking indicated. Not that you're drunk, just that there's indications that you drank, which means you popped at all on the blood alcohol test.
You took a sip.
And they hammer you, and they hammer the person who served you. Because they served you knowing you were going to drive, so they contributed to you being drunk. It's interesting. Full boy's interesting. But that being said, she couldn't drink, and so I abstained as well out of solidarity. You know, she's over there handling business. I'm over here handling business, making sure the house stays upright. No drinking for her. I will also not drink. And you know what? I could use a break from the beer because I got to maintain my blood sugar because that's out of control right now. I'm trying to fix my health, so I had to watch the beer. This is what happens when you get old, ladies and gentlemen. It fucking sucks. All the fun shit you found out you were doing in your 20s. It turns out it was all bad for you, like really bad for you.
Oh,
So-
yeah. And now you get knee aches when you're trying to teach, kids how to play basketball.
I have had several people offer me weed, though. Like, here, you want to hit this? No, I'm good. Thanks. I got a clearance and shit. I can't be doing that.
Oh, yeah, shit.
No. But, thanks.
I mean, I'm gonna reholster that snarky remark that I had ready to go because, yeah, you have clearance.
No, I do. I have a clearance. I have a fucking clearance.
No, I know.
So,
that was a serious comment. I wasn't being a snarky ass.
In another life, perhaps, but not right now. I got things I got to do. But dude, weed technology.
I mean, seriously,
weed technology I haven't seen or fucked with any of this shit since years ago. Right, long fucking time ago. They now have, first of all, they have the shit people vape, right? The vape cartridges.
Yeah, the vape cartridges. Those are the things that cause cancer. The homemade ones, right?
Yeah, the ones that are bootleg because they use the wrong type of fucking oil that actually burns your lungs up. Because they're bootleg. There are legitimate ones that people make, but those are more expensive. Mm-hmm. So of course, being a kid, you buy the cheap ones and you think it's no big deal because it gets you high. Next thing you know, your lungs are on fire. They've got chemical burns on them, and you're in a hospital. And they're thinking about banning vaping because people fucking are basically doing illegal shit. Anyway, look, they have these things called dabs. And I was offered one, and I'm like, what's a dab? So apparently, it's like a fucking gel. It's like they distilled the weed down to an oil and then got that into like a gel, and it's like one little tiny little smidget is like an entire joint. So you can vaporize and take in an entire joint's worth of fucking THC in a single hit, which to me just sounds like,
oh wow,
I don't know how my mouth works anymore. But I'm hungry, so I'm just gonna lay here on this food and hope it just absorbs through my skin because I don't know how to work my arms don't work anymore either. Like,
you can smell colors though.
Yeah, what are we talking about? I forgot. So But yeah, this shit blew my mind. I'm like, I didn't know this shit even fucking existed. Right, the edible technology is blown away too. Edibles, man.
These edibles ain't
Jesus
shit.
fucking edibles ain't shit. Next thing you know, you're mowing your roof. I'm like, fuck. No, but dude, edibles. I remember my mom was making some weed brownies, and she had to take the weed and she had to fry it in butter, right? Because that's what pulls the oil out. And then she took that butter and then she made brownies with it. And that's how you made weed brownies. And that's the only thing, you baked goods was all I know. Now you got gummies, fucking all kinds of shit with weed in it. And it doesn't even smell like weed anymore. Like they've got it to where it's literally just THC in there. And it's insane amounts, right? But since it's edible, it doesn't hit you as quickly as if you smoked it. So for those of you who are thinking about smoking or dealing with edibles, here's what I'm gonna tell you, right? Whatever the dealer tells you is what you need to do, right? If he says eat half a cookie, don't eat 2 cookies, motherfucker. Eat half of one. Otherwise, you're gonna be thinking Satan trying to rip your fucking soul out through your kneecaps, and it's all bad. So
essentially, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a really bad fucking time, right? Really bad fucking time. So, and there's gummies. There's just all kinds of wild shit now. And I'm like, in the 90s, when I was a teen, and you can get into this kind of riffraff because there was no clearance, right? There was no clearance. You just smoked it, right?
Yeah.
You fucking smoked it, and that was it. You didn't. There was all these fancy ways to get it into your body. You just fucking did it. But now you can eat a gummy and be chilling on the train, and this thing you're in a whole other city in a whole other state. Because you forgot that you were supposed to go to work. Because you were fucking... Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I remember hearing Dennis Leary once say that, he was dispelling the notion that marijuana is a gateway drug. No, it doesn't lead to other drugs. It leads to fucking carpentry. Now, it leads to advanced engineering.
Jesus
and
Christ.
chemical engineering.
Jeez, the amount... And I want to say, since the states decriminalized... Certain states decriminalized it, and certain states outright legalized it, for like
looking at you, Oregon.
Beyond medical use, I guess it's opened a door for legitimate people to really put their minds to it. But folks have been engineering weed for fucking decades.
Yeah. So
this is nothing new. The shit your grandfather smoked in Vietnam, the shit they have now would blow that shit out of the fucking water, and he knows.
Like seriously, I mean, this was part of why I almost moved to the Pacific Northwest instead of moving here.
Either way, so just quick segue on weed tech, which. Hilariously enough, neither one of us we don't partake in it. I don't know, you don't smoke, do you?
I mean, I don't seek it out, but I mean, if somebody's got some, I'm not going to turn it down.
Well, it must be nice, because I can't.
I mean, I don't have a clearance anymore.
I do, and so I don't. I've had to turn down more drugs than I'd ever thought I had to as a kid. You know what they say? Hey, if someone offers you drugs, don't take them as a kid. No one offered... Well, actually, no. I got offered a lot of drugs. I'm not going to lie. I did. They were right, and I said yes a lot of times, but no. But I'm, older now, and people are still very friendly with it.
Well, I mean, the problem is, I've been offered a lot of drugs in my lifetime, too. I mean, especially the last few years when I was living up near Yukon.
Yeah, college... Well, that's the college
no. That's not even the half of it. 2 towns over is the heroin capital of the Northeast. Willamette, Connecticut.
That sounds like a really bad place to be. A lot of dope fiend leans going on over there, huh?
Oh, yeah, a lot of dope fiend leans.
Don't let him out.
I wasn't gonna.
My stupid dog wants to go outside to bark at a possum. We have a possum named Gary. D2 named him Gary. He looks like a Gary. Could be a girl.
Yeah.
Still named Gary.
Good Lord.
Still named Gary. Either way.
We got off on a tangent there.
We fucking did. It's been a while, man. We're catching up.
We're having fun with
Hometown happenings is what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Yes.
Philadelphia fucking sucks right now.
Ouch.
All right, listen. The Sixers... Best record at home. Unfortunately, half of the games you play are on the fucking road. So if
you'll have that.
You got to win some of those games on the road, which they're not really doing consistently. Embiid, of course, is hit or miss with his health. Ben Simmons still doesn't have a jumper. And they've jumbled the chemistry with the offseason moves. They let folks go. They brought in new folks, and it doesn't seem like it's really gelling. Like an asshole looked at a spreadsheet and decided this was going to work, and there really wasn't a lot of talent evaluation. That's what it seems like was done. Which that's not how we do it.
It's better than the process.
No, the process was great. Let's be honest. The process was fucking amazing. If Sam Hinkie,
yeah.
if he wasn't so blatant in the tanking, because what the process was we're going to shit the bed consistently, acquire picks, and then sell that shit off for more picks to where there's a good draft and you just cash in all your picks on great talent. That's where Embiid came from. Embiid came from the process.
Yeah.
Which was only halfway done. If we had another 2 years of shit fucking basketball to endure, and we would have had a full process, but it was too cynical. Honestly, the process was very fucking cynical.
Yeah, I mean, the
very
problem
fucking
was it was too it didn't consider the aspect of fans getting frustrated.
Well, it did. They just understood at the end of the day, they'll forget about that if you're winning championships.
Yeah.
Right, which is true. Right, because you're a New England Patriots fan. You've been a fan for a very, very, very long time. You understand that for a long time, they were a fucking shit franchise that lost a lot of games. Then, Belichick and Brady arrived. You guys have this unparalleled era of success. And then you have a whole bunch of other fans now, right? They don't know what it was like before.
Oh, God, I hate those.
Right, so if the Patriots ever fall back to where they're struggling, you're still going to be there because you remember what it was like before. Yeah, you'd be frustrated and everything, but your fandom isn't defined solely by just them winning. You were a fan before they were good. So you're like a hipster Patriots fan. You're not a pink hat. You're not a pink hat. You're a true
go get
fan.
my man bun and put on my number 12
No,
jersey.
you're a legitimate fan because you were a fan before they were good.
Yep.
But you got to think a lot of your fellow fans are not, and they're going to implode if they ever fall apart. So
yeah.
It's like that with the Sixers. Yeah, folks are going to stop coming to the games, but let's be real, we're not the Knicks.
No.
I mean, we're not the fucking Knicks.
Dude, weren't the Knicks all in on this offseason?
They've been all in on everything. Durant said he's going to New York. The Knicks assumed it was them.
And here we are laughing
no one's
at
playing for
James
the fucking Knicks. The Knicks are whack. So that being said, the Flyers are also having a rough go this season. There've been a lot of high-scoring games. So
yeah.
Hockey's not supposed to have that many points scored typically. But if it does, it helps if you win them. So, but they haven't won a lot of games. I don't see the Flyers being relevant this year. At the end of the day, they're a middling team at best. You know, mediocre. It would be if they call them mediocre, is probably a compliment. If they do well, they can be considered mediocre. But I don't see this as a playoff team. Let alone a team progressing past the first round.
They have a second wild card right now.
Not getting past the first round.
Yeah, no, basically in the old system that would be the 8th seed.
They're aggressively mediocre.
Yeah, they'll be playing the Bruins in the first round.
They're aggressively mediocre. And that's right now.
Yeah.
That's right now. They still got a lot of season to play. So, the Flyers, nowhere near championship contention. We'll see. They need to draft smart and get some better fucking goaltending because they've been getting lit up on the defensive end.
Oh, God, yes.
They've been getting lit up. But the Lightning put up like 5 or 6 goals on them today.
Well, that's the Lightning.
But
that's the second best team in the NHL.
Yeah, but that's a lot of goals, dude.
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot of goals.
It's a lot of goals.
And it was not like just the Lightning's been doing it. Other teams have been doing it, too.
Oh, I know.
But then they score like 3 or 4, and it's like... Either way.
Oh, you kind of tried. Okay.
Okay,
Hey,
good.
pitchers and catchers reported.
Nice. So, yeah, the Phillies, I don't see doing well this year either. The Bryce Harper thing, a lot of fans were really saying this Bryce Harper signing is going to bring us to the promised land. And if you look at the year prior, that's not an unreasonable assumption. Unfortunately, it takes more than just one big player to really produce when you have a sport like baseball or football, right?
Yeah.
A slugger is nice to have, but you got to have a bunch of other really good players out there.
Well, and you needed a better manager than Gabe Kapler.
Nope. Who did we just pick up? Girardi?
Yeah.
So we'll see what Joe Girardi's got up his sleeve.
Yeah.
But the Phils, my expectations are low. I would be pleasantly surprised if they exceeded my expectations. I just don't see it happening.
Currently projected to finish 4th in the NL East.
I'm not. Look, it's got to happen, bro.
I mean, but then by most people's projections, it's there for the taking. If anybody wants to really go for it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We have not hit the trade deadline yet, so.
We haven't even hit opening day yet.
Right. So we haven't hit the trade deadline. We never know what's going to happen, right?
Kaboom.
So Boston, Greater New England area. What's going on? Tell us about it.
Well, so I'm a little high on the Celtics. You know, they're the 3 seed in the East currently.
Okay.
Behind Milwaukee and Toronto, which we kind of expected.
Toronto's a good fucking team.
Toronto's a very good team. Milwaukee is banking on the fact that if they surround Giannis with talent, he'll stay. But you know, we all know he's going to play in LA at some point. because that's what Midwestern players do.
I mean, wouldn't you want to escape the Midwest?
I wouldn't want to be in Milwaukee on a Saturday night. Boom. Anyway, the Celtics are they're right there. They're kind of slightly above aggressively mediocre.
Nice.
They're good, but they're not quite championship caliber, I guess.
They're okay.
Like Gordon Hayward is playing well this season, which is great because, oh man, that's going to make it hard for us to let him go. Great. Way to go. Danny Ainge stood pat at the trading deadline again. Way to go, trader Danny.
Hey, man.
Live up to your moniker, right?
Yeah, you can't.
It was a little surprising.
Every offseason can't be big splash type shit,
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but, the Brooklyn trade has finally stopped giving us gifts. So we've been living on that one for about 6 or 7 years.
You really have.
Yeah. We still are with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Ha.
Yeah.
Tatum.
Yeah. But, so the Celtics are looking pretty good. The Bruins are currently the best team in the NHL. Great goaltending, great power play, great forwards, defensemen, just all around. I don't really know much about hockey. I just know that my Bruins are good, and I like them. And I'm hoping that this time they can finish the fucking job and win Game 7 at home. Goddamn St. Louis. Oh my God, speaking of St. Louis, you saw they stopped the game midway through the third period last week. One of their players collapsed.
Oh no, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, serious health condition. I forget what it was.
It's a heart thing?
I think it was. It's
got to either be a heart or head thing for them to go down.
Yeah, Jay
like
Bomeister. They stopped play. Like, just stop right now.
Yeah,
it was crazy. But I'm hoping he's all right. I mean, there's this. When a younger Dork might have been like, serves the fucker right. But that guy was also an asshole. Me. Right?
Yeah, I can concur with that.
Yeah,
I concur with that.
Yeah, I mean, but as I've gotten older, I've kind of learned that there's this thing called empathy and human concern and human decency.
Yeah, that guy did nothing personally to you. He's just plays for another team. It could have, he didn't necessarily pick where he went.
Well, I mean, it was like, just to cite an example, December 29th, the Miami Dolphins beat the New England Patriots and cost the Patriots a first-round playoff bye.
Greatest thing ever.
Fuck you.
Fucking Fitz magic to the rescue.
Oh my God, dude, I went into full-on Anakin and the Sand People rage in the middle of a bar in my hometown, just I hate them all!
What's funny is because you knew it was going to happen.
Well,
I knew it was going to fucking happen when you had to play Wild Card Weekend.
Oh yeah, I know. I wanted no part of goddamn Tennessee. None.
Let's get to that.
But anyway, we'll get there. I got to get through one other hanging Chad. That being the Boston Red Sox.
Are we going to talk about the whole tape thing now?
We're not going to talk about that part.
Okay.
We're going to talk about ownership and management and how they're fucking pissing me off.
Yeah, I've seen your Facebook posts. You have not been happy with the decision they've been making. Mookie Betts on the way out, huh?
Mookie Betts was traded to Los Angeles.
The Dodgers?
The Dodgers.
Oh, no.
I mean, me. I have made my disdain for David Price known on numerous occasions. So I was happy he went to the Dodgers. Yeah. I mean, even though we're paying half of his remaining contract that should never have been signed. Thank you, Dave Dombrowski. Yeah, so basically, Dave Dombrowski handed out a bunch of bad contracts, got the Red Sox over the luxury tax threshold, which if you violate, you go over it for 3 years in a row, you get hit with significant penalties, including loss of draft picks, and 80% of every dollar you spend above the luxury tax threshold, you have to pay back to Major League Baseball. So the Red Sox were looking at a tab of $80 million.
That's a lot of money, bro.
A lot of money for being over the luxury tax
money,
threshold.
bro.
So they realized that the only way to do that was to trade away big name players.
Mookie Betts.
Unfortunately, because he got $27 million in arbitration.
Who's the guy who gets $1 million every year?
Oh, Bobby Bonilla.
God, that's the
He's
best.
still getting paid.
That's the best.
Hasn't played since 2001.
That's the best worst contract ever.
But yeah, so Mookie and David Price were shipped off to Los Angeles for 3 prospects. The deal took many different complicated turns, and at first I was really angry about it. One, because I just bought a Mookie Betts jersey last season.
Now it's a throwback jersey.
Yeah, well, it was a road jersey with his name on it. It's not like, all their home jerseys just have the numbers on it.
But still a throwback because, it doesn't play.
I got you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks, buddy.
Fucker. But anyway, so yeah, not only that, okay, so where was I here? I'm mad about the fact that Mookie got traded.
Yeah.
But there was a point where I was like, bullshit! This is Marcus Lynn motherfucking Betts! He is a generational talent, the second best player in baseball behind Mike Trout. If it doesn't matter how much it costs, you find the money. I mean, I'm sorry. I cannot feel sorry for billionaires who cry poverty when they have $6.6 billion, with a B, dollars in assets. He owns Liverpool. He owns Roush Fenway Racing. He owns the Red Sox, in addition to the Boston Globe. And he uses that as a smear campaign arm to smear Robert Kraft regularly.
Really?
Oh, yeah, they hate each other.
Nice.
John Henry and Robert Kraft hate each other.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but it's because John Henry's a colossal dick.
To be fair, a lot
I
of
mean, ask the Marlins fans how much they love him.
Most sports owners are dicks.
Yeah, anyway. Right. So, I was not happy with that. I'm sitting there like, no, you find the money. And not only that, I was sitting there, you can pay those luxury tax penalties in your sleep. But...
Yeah, but it's a loss. You don't want to take that. It's like
you gotta. Then I had to reel it in. I take an emotional component out of it. As a businessman, John Henry got to be worth $6.6 billion by not letting his heart judge it, make his decisions for him.
There you go.
And also, the fact of the matter is, the Red Sox are now back under the luxury tax threshold, which resets the luxury tax penalties.
And they get 3 years or 2 years of overspending again.
Exactly. And, guess who's a free agent after this season?
Mookie Betts?
Oh, yeah. So, no excuse for them to not win the bidding war for Mookie Betts' services at the end of this season.
Okay.
Going to be puke-inducing to see him wearing Dodger blue.
You should buy one of those jerseys. What's the Red Sox beef with the Dodgers? Their beef is with the Yankees.
Oh, no, the Dodgers have more beef with us than we have with them.
Oh, fair.
We're getting to that.
Okay.
But, that's where I'm at. I mean, the way I finally rationalized it with the Sox was, it's like that family member that you really respect and revere who makes a very, very bad decision that you just don't like. It's like, I don't know, finding out that your cousin voted for Trump. You're not going to stop loving that son of a bitch, but at the same time, you're going to be like, you're a fucking idiot. And I really have lost a lot of respect for you.
I would stop loving them.
I mean,
but I also don't talk to my family, and I don't
I have cousins. I actually do have a cousin that voted for Trump and supports Trump very much.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and the problem is, she's also a really great human being.
Uh-huh.
And she's awesome, and, political views aside, I mean, I know for a fact it's not, she's not a racist, but she's just very, very ideologically diametrically opposed to me.
Without this becoming a political show, because we can go into how
but see, so like, all right, the analogy being, you're disappointed with them, but you still love them. So that's where I'm at with the Red Sox. I still love them, but I'm kind of mad. All right, so from madness to sadness.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant on February 3rd, 2020, passed away at the age of 41 years old, along with his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 other people in a horrific helicopter crash in Calabasas, California.
Yep. It was low visibility, high winds, I'm going to say.
Yes.
But they did have special clearance from the FAA to fly other police other helicopters like the police department had grounded their flights. So this is one of those things to where if the FAA pulled the trigger and said, go ahead and do it, the pilot felt that they had the skill to make it happen. But ultimately, that's not, shit happens.
I don't see that exception ever being granted again.
Helicopter flight is inherently riskier than you could possibly fucking imagine. Rotary wing flights are fucking wild. Once you go into a city where you have power lines and towers and all the other shit, the wind and the visibility, all these things can impact. It seems like they ran into something without even seeing it.
Yeah.
Because you're moving. You're not gingerly flying at 30 miles an hour. You're fucking cooking if you're in the air. Mm-hmm. You're going as fast as they allow.
Margin of error is very slim.
Very, very slim. And this is not a military helicopter. This is a commercial passenger helicopter, so it doesn't have all the same features and redundancies that a military helicopter that Ken and I would fly in be passengers in would, and they actually had several of the commercial safety features that were removed or just weren't present in this helicopter. So you can sit here and second guess all the decisions that were led to this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, honestly, if I'm gonna speak about this, the loss of Kobe Bryant is obscene, but his daughter.
Yeah, Gianna.
Yeah, so that was his legacy. He's got several other children, but she was going to be his basketball legacy.
Mamacita, they called her.
She's a monster.
Yeah.
As a 13-year-old girl, she's an absolute monster on the court, and she was going to carry that name proudly into professional sports.
She was hell-bent on going to UConn, too.
Hell-bent. UConn was honoring her, even though she, wasn't even eligible to have a real conversation with them.
Yeah, that she was not even able to be offered a scholarship yet. Yeah, I would have...
So, yeah, Kobe Bryant himself is a hell of a loss. Huge loss. Not just because of his legacy as a player, but he's also very plugged in to a lot of things now as a father. So he benefited. Like, he's teaching other people's kids, not just his own. So you lose a great teacher, right? You lose a good mentor because he's good to go. Once he grew into his role as a dad.
Yeah,
I think if for those of you who never had, you're going to be getting to this in a little bit in your life, but when you have children as a father, there's certain parts of you that you have to soften in order to deal with this little person. And I think to see that happen with him since he's retired, how he softened and became a human being was nice. It was very nice. And the result of that is you have all these other kids that are excelling now, and then you have his daughter. And he puts energy into her. And, as a father of daughters, he's a girl dad. He's got all girls.
Yeah.
He's a girl dad. I'm a girl dad. Look, it's different. You have to change. You have to change. As a man, you change. And to see other men change and to grow into that is always beautiful.
Yep.
And it sucks to lose them.
I gotta say that the hardest part about this whole thing for me initially was the reporting.
Well, reporting is always going to be hit or miss because you're competing with TMZs and all the other people that are...
Oh, well, TMZ needs to have their asses raked over the coals. I mean, because Vanessa Bryant found out...
From TMZ, which is...
abhorrent.
Yeah, but that's TMZ's business. They've never had qualms about being morally ambiguous about how they report. They've never had qualms with that. Now, where it gets iffy is because now all the big stations are trying to get the scoop is they're referencing TMZ as though TMZ is 100% accurate. Right. TMZ doesn't do accuracy checks. They are breaking the story to break the story with whatever details they think they have at the time because there's no real integrity faction. They're not looked at for context or nuance. You go to your big stations for nuance, right? But the big stations have to be willing to take the time to do the due diligence so they're not misreporting, which several outlets did.
Yeah.
Misreported what the fuck happened. His whole family died, and Vanessa's like, I'm not dead. What the fuck? What happened? So
all of his daughters were on the plane. Yeah.
No, it's
and then it was a plane.
We should expect better from the big outlets, but they've proven that since they're competing with the TMZs of the world, that they're willing to throw their typical process to the wind in order to be first or second.
Yes, but then also what came out of it, the outpouring of emotion and support for not only Kobe's family, but just the
other folks involved, and
it was one of the more uplifting things about it. They renamed the NBA All-Star MVP award that will be presented tonight during the NBA All-Star game after him, and that the Lakers retired both of his numbers.
Yeah, and there's talk about making him the logo and removing Jerry West. They offered it to Jordan. Jordan declined years ago. They wanted to make Jordan the logo. I mean, I don't have any qualms with...
I actually don't either.
Would it be him doing the fadeaway jumper thing with the jersey in his mouth? I think that's the most iconic Kobe thing. If you're going to make him the...
Yeah.
Just saying, I mean, he's certainly in the conversation between the modern players, between Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. Those are the only three I could think of that have the championship chops. You would replace the logo with them, with their silhouette.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaq. Shaq.
Yeah,
Big Aristotle, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley. Hey, Chuck. What's going on, Charles? Kenny, I'm going to race you to the screen, Kenny. I tripped Kenny. You tripped me, Kenny.
Yeah. And we go from tripping to man, you tripping.
Yeah.
Because goddamn you, Houston Astros.
Yeah, so apparently the Houston Astros had, like, really gotten their IT department involved and their AV department involved because they were sign stealing.
At a level that we could only imagine or dream of being capable of.
Like, they really leaned into the whole cheating thing. Like, they had no qualms about it. So I gotta give them credit on committing to being pieces of shit. They didn't half-ass it, I'll tell you that much.
No, they didn't half-ass it at all. I mean, they were using their video replay room to relay real-time information to hitters and then banging on the trash can to let them know what kind of pitch is coming.
All bad. And everyone was in on it.
Yeah.
So this isn't like, management was doing this. This is every fucking player on that roster is in on this.
And as a result, I mean, Major League Baseball suspended the general manager and manager a year, and without pay.
Yeah.
And then they fined them $5 million, and they took away their next 2 first-round draft picks.
But they keep the championship.
But they keep the 2017 World Series championship.
There you go. So
on top of that, the Astros owner decides, you know what? No, we're going to take it one step further, and just to show you how unacceptable this is, general manager and manager fired immediately after the ruling came down from Major League Baseball commissioner.
So are we going to assume that the owner was unaware that he had one of the most complex cheating fucking schemes at play in his organization? Or are we saying that the owner's doing
I'm going to
this
go
to
Ted
save
Wells
face?
on you and say he was more generally aware than not.
Fair. He kind of knew, but he knew enough to not ask to know more.
Like, he was just like, say no more, fam. We just won a World Series.
Plausible deniability.
Exactly.
Keep your hands clean. I don't really see what's happening.
And not only that, but like, okay, so they stopped all the really high-level dirty shit in 2017. One, because, word got out. And two, Alex Cora took the managerial job in Boston. And the Boston Red Sox are still under investigation, and a lot of people are speculating that the Red Sox traded Mookie because he was only good because of what Cora did for him with the banging on the trash can shit. But that's
a really hot take.
That's a really, really hot take. I mean, because
he was good prior.
Yeah, he came up out of the minors as one of the rare 5-tool players. He had that ability. I mean, and not only that. I mean, did you see some of the catches he made during that World Series run where he was jumping over the wall to take away home runs?
The guy was a monster.
He was a monster, yeah. That's what makes his loss to the Dodgers so harsh. But anyway, we already covered that. So the 2018 Red Sox, who set a franchise record for victories in a season, are now also under investigation.
Another Boston team with an asterisk for camera work. I'm just saying, man.
I know, but see, unlike the Patriots, where I vigorously defend them till I'm blue in the face, I'm gonna take my lumps on this one.
No, it's grimy as fuck.
It's grimy as fuck. You're right.
Part of the issue with the Patriots Spygate thing from back in the day was that the evidence was all destroyed by the NFL, right? So that lack of evidence allows for speculation and conspiracy theories. It lends itself to that when you see evidence being destroyed. Like, I don't know, the security camera footage around Epstein's cell. It's gone forever.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well, it's like Tom Brady destroying his cell phone. That's when Deflategate really caught fire.
Yeah, because it wasn't a big deal, really, until he did that. And all of that, all the retribution that came the Patriots and Tom Brady's way as a result of Deflategate wasn't because they were deflating football. It was because they tried to hide the fact that they were deflating footballs and suppress that evidence, and which is the ethical dilemma, which is where the league had to take their stand, which is weird because it's the NFL and they have no fucking ethics. But
yeah, we're back on Major League Baseball.
Right.
Took a stand against this, and they're making examples of people.
Well,
like Alex Cora,
cool,
who was implicated in both 2017 with the Astros and 2018 with the Red Sox, is banned at least 1 year.
At least he gets to Pete Rose. I don't want to hear it. Unless they Pete Rose his ass, I don't want to hear it.
He might get the Pete Rose
because fucking Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle's still not in the Hall of Fame.
And all he did was bet on baseball, which, I mean, admittedly, he was affecting the outcome of games.
He won't say that he bet. He said he never bet against his own team. Yeah. But he was juicing games. So he just, they feel that he hasn't told the full truth of his gambling. And the
effects of this whole thing ripple outward to today, as a matter of fact. I mean, because the Red Sox only gave their new manager, Ron Renicky, interim management because he's still part of the investigation from 2018. And if more comes out about him, he's going to get canned too.
And they don't have to eat that salary that they promised. Well, no, I think you can fire him for cause if he's been involved in that. You can fire him for cause and not have to eat any of that salary.
Yeah, and not only that, but 2019 World Series, apparently the Nationals won all the road games. The World Series, everybody won all the road games, right? Well, apparently all 28, well, I think 28, maybe 27. I'm not sure if the Red Sox participated in that or not. They were calling the Nationals and telling them how to beat the Astros. Like, yo, you have to be seriously fucking dirty. And this was before anybody knew the severity.
Well, I think everyone knew, but the public didn't know. Everyone suspected.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, but to think about it though, you don't get that kind of unity if you're not that hated.
No, you've got to be the villain. Like,
dude, they were the Thanos of the MLB.
They really, if other teams are giving you the call to go, this is how you beat these motherfuckers in a game that they're not playing in.
Yeah,
that's fucking wild.
And not only that, but I mean, like video, like people have been reanalyzing the end of the 2019 ALCS. Jose Altuve hits a walk-off home run off of Aroldis Chapman in Game 6.
Yeah,
and as he's coming around the bases, he's like, "Don't rip my jersey off! Don't rip my jersey off!" If you have the presence of mind to say, "Don't rip my jersey off," you're hiding something. A lot of people speculate that he had a buzzer under his jersey to let him know.
He might have.
To let him know, to signal him to what kind of pitch. And if that told him that this was the pitch to groove out of the park, I mean, come on. We already know that stuff like that was happening during the 2017 World Series, and it directly affected the outcome of the World Series, to the point where local California politicians petitioned Major League Baseball to have the Dodgers awarded the 2017 and 2018 World Series trophies. I mean, the Dodgers themselves are like, look, we didn't win it on the field. We feel some kind of way about it, but we don't want it that way. We don't want it to be like
defaulted to you.
Yeah, we don't want it defaulted.
Can we just make it to where nobody won it?
Yeah.
Honestly, because that's the only other. So you leave the championship with the people who got caught cheating in ways that no one had ever seen in baseball.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to default it to the other team because that sullies the entire thing for them because we didn't really win this.
Right.
So nobody won.
Exactly.
It's like a strike year. The shit didn't happen. The shit didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, players have not been shy about expressing their opinions about the Houston Astros.
No, and they're not going to because they don't have to. They're off the leash on that. And honestly, you have pitchers thinking they were going fucking crazy because people were sitting their shit yard.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was a good pitcher until I played these guys, and they were sitting everything yard. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm questioning pitchers and quarterbacks and shooters in basketball, that confidence factor, cornerbacks, their confidence, once it's shot, they're almost worthless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to touch upon that later on with the Ravens.
Yeah, they're almost worthless. So it's being a pro pitcher, and you consistently have bad outings against a team. That team's in your head now. But when you find out it wasn't because they were just good, it's because they were cheating sons of bitches. It's infuriating. So everyone's gonna go yard on these motherfuckers now.
And not only
everyone's gonna go off on everyone involved in that cheating scandal will be shit on for years to come by any player.
Oh, it's already started too.
For years to come, we will be talking about this in 5 years. I guarantee.
I bet you we will be. I'm not going to disagree.
It's almost as big of a scandal as the Balco thing.
Yeah,
it is almost as big because the Balco thing spanned multiple teams.
Yeah.
So it's bigger, but this is huge.
Yeah, it is. And from what I can only ascertain, it's the tip of the iceberg and a lot of other things.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
Because there are other teams that may have been doing the same thing.
Well, let's fucking bring them out and string them up. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So what's the next thing? Playoffs.
The NFL postseason.
So
it was unconventional for both of us.
It was. Well, okay. So the Eagles won, basically didn't win, but certainly solidified their postseason ticket when they beat the Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia at a game that I attended with D1 and Mrs. Diggler. And let me tell you,
had a blast, didn't you?
Listen, me and Mrs. Diggler had gone to Eagles-Ravens game at M&T Bank Stadium Wentz's rookie year, and that was a good game, right? But let's be real, that was not a passionate game. These aren't the Steelers that the Ravens are playing. This is the Eagles. They're not really division rivals. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Cowboys playing the Eagles in Philly with the playoff berth on the line. The division's on the line. That stadium was fucking amped. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the experience was so mind-blowing that Mrs. Diggler's demanded that we do this every year. That every year, that late season game in Philly against the Cowboys, that we have to go every fucking year moving forward. We
God
have to
damn.
do this. Look, the Dallas sucks chants were so synced and loud that you could hear it on the TV broadcasts.
Nice.
And I've never heard such a lusty, just, I don't know, balmy, like just funky boo ever in my life than when Dallas came out on the field. I've never, like, a player goes down and they're fucking booing this jackass. He's holding his leg. I'm like, yeah, that guy might be done for the day. Fucking boo. People called him a pussy, of course. You know, like, the guy in front of us was actively smoking fucking weed in the stadium. I'm like, I don't know how I got through security, but all right, fuck it. They're well behaved. They had a Uncle Ben's cutout, which they got from the work because they work at a supermarket. I'm like, this motherfucker works at a supermarket. He brought an Uncle Ben's cutout. It has no relevance here, but this is great. It was an amazing experience. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it was fucking great. I almost knocked him down like all the seats because we did the high five, and I'm a lot bigger than him, and he was like, oh shit, I had to catch him because he was also, it's high. So he almost fucking fell. But it was great. It was really fucking great. My normally really kind of shy wife was leaning in to Dallas. In fact, when things get rough, she's feeling really down, she looks at me and she says, Dallas sucks.
Nice.
And it fucking makes her happier. And I'm like, oh, you are a fucking Eagles fan now forever. But that punched our ticket basically when the Eagles beat the Cowboys, and then we beat the Giants the next week. The Giants were a doormat team, so we were able to get past them. So now we're playing wild card weekend at home against the Seahawks, who came in as a wild card. Now, the Eagles receivers are not anywhere near starting caliber.
No.
However, they showed the fuck up. Like, these guys balled out. Leading up to that point, you had new heroes. You had the Boston Scotts. You just had these guys that were on practice squads showing up and really making a fool out of the other guys. They were doing great. They were overachieving.
Yeah, they were.
Truly overachieving, given. And so, as long as Wentz is there, the Eagles have a shot at winning this game. So what happens? Fucking Wentz goes on the run. Jadeveon Clowney fucking headshots him on a play that could be considered dirty.
I might call it dirty. Yeah.
So the thing about Clowney is he plays up to the line of what is considered dirty, right? So John Runyon, longtime Eagle, is a league official.
Yeah.
He's also a former congressman.
Wow.
Yeah, former congressman from Pennsylvania. Michael Strahan was on the trail with him, advocating for him because they're really good friends. Mm-hmm. But he says, look, at that point he's a runner. He's not a quarterback. He didn't slide, therefore he doesn't have the protections because he dove. The spearing was bang bang, couldn't outline malice. He didn't put it. It didn't meet the criteria to be a finable play because you couldn't find them. So the refs technically made the right call. Is it questionable? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Extremely questionable. Probably didn't really need to happen, but he was within the rules when he did it. So it's like, So as an Eagles fan, of course, you're pissed because now you got, oh my God,
the shell of Josh McCown.
Oh, who fucking balled out?
And he pull a muscle in his
No,
leg?
he tore his fucking hamstring.
Jesus Christ!
Josh McCown tore his hamstring.
Yeah, couldn't catch a break.
No, but he played the whole game like that.
That's crazy.
Like, he tried to run. He forgot he was 40. As you do, right? Because your adrenaline hits, you're like, fuck it, I can do this. And you try to scoot, and fucking boom.
I can't.
He fucking blew an ass muscle, right? So he's fucking hurt. He's limping the whole game. You can see how he just kind of got worse and worse and stiffer and stiffer.
Yeah.
Because he had actually tore it. We thought he pulled a hamstring. No, he fucking tore that shit. But he played the whole fucking game. And to be honest with you, he didn't look bad coming in like that. He came in cold. He's old as fucking dirt. And, it was probably the most Philadelphia way to lose.
I mean, y'all lost to the Seahawks by the same score we twice.
Yes, we did. The same score twice.
But the thing is, the Seahawks should have blown you out in that game, and you only lost by one possession.
We did.
You fought hard. I was
defense.
impressed.
The defense was there for most of the game, but for the Eagles, the pass on Metcalf, the way we did, Metcalf made us pay. Even if he's just big and fast and runs straight, he still does that exceptionally well. And none of the cornerbacks for the Eagles are fast enough to keep up with him. Yeah. So he was just there. He was doing it. So you got to give the Seahawks credit for winning that game. You got to give the Eagles credit for even being in that fucking game.
Yeah.
So in Philly, we were pretty pissy about the hit with Wentz, but we knew that we only had a boxer's chance in that game. Like very few fans went in there like we're gonna blow them out.
No.
Right? As opposed to, I don't know, the next week with Baltimore, Eagles fans were simply happy to be at the game. Right? Baltimore fans kind of felt like they were going to dominate whoever they played.
Yeah.
Eagles fans are literally like, all right, we got a chance because we're here. We got a chance because we're here. And so when the season ended, it was like they gave it their all. We got some shit we got to fix in the offseason. But you know what? We got some good players out there. Miles Sanders, fucking stud.
Yeah.
Fucking stud, right? We got some. Miles Sanders is a stud. Zach Ertz is still a goddamn monster.
Dallas Goedert
just coming to his own. Wentz played mostly a whole season before he's concussed, and now because he suffered a concussion, they're like, well, he's injury prone. Like, motherfucker, you got a headshot by Jadeveon Clowney. Like, no one's like,
seriously,
dude. Like, I just want to get the fuck out of here. But Wentz really drugged that team through all those victories to get into the playoffs to begin with.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna say that and we're gonna go over this, but things aren't looking so bad when it comes to the Eagles.
No, they're not.
Things aren't looking so bad. But for that week, wild card weekend, the Eagles did not have enough to beat the Seahawks, which are the Seahawks in Osprey, by the way. Yes, in Osprey.
I mean, you guys are happy to be there.
We were happy to be there. However, being there is tradition for you guys.
Actually, no. Wild card weekend?
No, not wild card weekend. You guys have no familiarity with that.
We haven't played on wild card weekend in a decade.
Well, what happened when you did? Tell me all about it.
So a young running back and an upstart team came into our house and beat the ever-loving shit out of us.
I called Derrick Henry dragging his balls all over everybody.
Oh, no, I was talking about Ray Rice and the Ravens 11 years ago.
Nice.
Same
thing happened, though.
But, yeah. So, and then not only that, but if you look at the other parallel between the two teams, great defenses.
Yeah.
And milquetoast quarterbacks.
And I think we had a conversation about this. Tannehill wasn't going to be the one who beat you. It was going to be Henry. Because the Patriots' defensive weakness was the run game.
Dude.
No one's throwing the ball to Stephen Gilmore. No one's throwing the ball to Stephen Gilmore. But you don't have to if Henry's got 150 yards in the ground.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I mean, the worst part about it is, as dominant as Henry was on the ground, the Patriots were down 1 point with a couple of minutes left.
Which, honestly...
I mean, shocking. They should have been up by a few points.
The 2017 Patriots offense would have fucking lit the scoreboard up. But you didn't have that same offense. Tom Brady's not throwing the ball like he did.
The 2018 Patriots offense.
Your receivers aren't as skilled as they were.
Oh, no.
It's
Rob Gronkowski retired.
That's a big thing.
Another big loss that nobody's really talking about, Dwayne Allen.
Yes, there's a lot.
But the tight end position was severely lacking. I mean, Benjamin Watson.
There's a lot, dude.
At 39 years old was our best tight end.
But, hey, Derrick Henry, it was all of us everyone who wasn't a diehard knew that the Titans were going to run Henry right at the Pats, and if the Pats couldn't stuff him, that it was going to be a game. That was going to be it. And they couldn't.
And then when it got down late, and there was minutes to go, and then Mike Vrabel, former player, former New Patriot linebacker, has caught 10 passes in his career. They're all touchdowns, some of them in Super Bowls. Out Belichick.
You know he does not like the Patriots, right? You know Vrabel absolutely hates the Patriots, right?
He's bitter about the way his career ended. He was traded. He was very bitter about the fact that he was traded to Kansas City.
He was very bitter about that. He wanted to retire a Patriot. So yeah, he's gonna whip his dick out and cut it right off because he wants to win the Super Bowl. That's what he said.
I know.
Nah, I don't know if I would do that.
But anywho, I mean, it's I wasn't saying he had love, but so the Patriots, in the meantime, were left in this vacuum of okay, as soon as they lost to Miami, I let go of the idea of they were going to win a Super Bowl. Altogether.
But you typically lose to Miami late in the season. That's
I know. But, I mean, I figured Miami was so bad this year, we were insulated from that.
But it's...
Plus which, it usually happens in Miami.
But it's a divisional game.
I understand that, too.
The fucking Bills almost gave you the business this year.
But the Bills were actually good.
Still, the Bills though.
Fucking Bills. Yeah, I know.
I mean, the Jets were the only like really shitty.
Oh yeah, we
team.
dominated the shit out of the Jets.
The Cowboys didn't.
Ah!
High five,
Dallas sucks.
Yes, that's a hot sick banner.
No, I mean,
sick banner.
and even with that pathetic offense that we had trotting out against the Cowboys, we still beat them.
Yeah,
that was a monsoon.
we did that too.
Yeah, but anyway, so like the Patriots came in it, and they were in it to the very end.
Yeah, but
but they were playing on Wild Card Weekend against the one team that I did not want them to play.
you didn't want to see Derrick Henry.
You didn't want to see Derrick Henry.
Want to see
out of all the possible Wild Card opponents,
worst one for you guys.
I was like, God damn it, Houston, beat them.
No.
I want it in week 17. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When the Titans clinched their spot, I wanted Tennessee nowhere near it. I wanted Oakland. I really wanted.
Oakland needed so many things to happen to make the playoffs.
And they almost got all of them. Dude, they almost won their game. They had they needed 3 teams to lose. They got 2 of them. Tennessee was the only one that didn't lose. But anyway, I mean, that berth should have been. I don't know if you know Les, the Steelers fan from NFL Fan Therapy.
Yeah.
His status: the real heroes here are the Steelers for eliminating themselves so they didn't lose to the Patriots. Yeah.
Dude, what a mess the Steelers were last year.
Man.
But honestly, look, Tomlin. I'm not gonna lie. Tomlin deserves a raise for almost getting that team to the playoffs because that was a shit show he had.
I voted for him for Coach of the Year.
He
if
had
I had
a
a
shit show
vote that counted.
I mean,
Yeah.
we should. We're pressed.
Yeah.
We should. More high fives.
All right, high five.
So what else happened on the Wild Card Weekend?
So
There were other games.
Yeah. So. Derrick Henry's a fucking monster.
Derrick Henry was he's a monster. He's
Kyle Rudolph got away with OPI, and then Kirk Cousins won a playoff game because of it.
Yeah, he did.
And now Saints fans, for the 3rd fucking year in a row, have something to bitch about in the offseason.
You know what? I'm okay because the only state a Saints fan should be is bitching about a playoff loss. That's the best state
I don't want to hear them.
Then don't just mute them.
That's 2 times in 3 years.
Hold on. Do we actually know any Saints fans?
I know one from my military days.
I know, but are any here, like in Maryland?
No.
Then you're good.
But and not only that, but you think about it. 2nd time in 3 years that the Vikings have done it to them.
Honestly,
so I guess they're up for being screwed by the Rams again next year.
I can't think of a better franchise to get screwed the way these motherfuckers bitch about everything that doesn't go their fucking way and how what would have happened could have happened, but it didn't happen. Yeah, we'd have beat the fucking Eagles if you'd have put them in playoffs, but you didn't, bitch, because you didn't fucking beat the Vikings.
I'm tired of them trying to say that Drew Brees is the GOAT.
We would have whooped on. He's fucking really good.
He's really good, but rings.
Rings are a team sport at this point. Look, all right, if I'm a pick between Brady and Breeze in their primes, I'm taking Breeze. Here's why. Hear me out here.
Okay.
Brady for Brady typically had a very, very, very good defense supporting him, where Breeze hasn't. Breeze, with corpses on the field, was throwing for 5,000 yards every fucking season. Statistically, Breeze is the superior quarterback. However, the Patriots are the superior team with the superior coach when it comes to the entire team. Okay. Sean Payton is an amazing offensive guy with an amazing quarterback who drafts amazing skill position players. But they've never fielded a defense that compares to the Patriots' heyday defenses that won the majority of championships. So if you're looking at the GOAT, statistically, they do have an argument there. Unfortunately, while they're both first ballot Hall of Famers, Brady does have a literal handful of rings that he has to his credit. But let's be real, the first 3 were because he had a good defense. Because he was a game manager in his first 3s.
Well, I mean,
he didn't come out of his shell until Randy Moss showed up.
And then not only that, 2 out of those 3 championships, I mean, his stat lines were not impressive. No, I'll give you that. But the second one was where he really stood out, though. Yeah. Against Carolina.
Yeah.
350 yards passing, 2 touchdowns.
He did good.
He balled out.
He did good, but that wasn't who he was throughout the whole season. Like Tom Brady wasn't.
No.
He had a great game.
As a matter of fact, this year's Patriots at the beginning reminded me of those 03 Patriots.
Yeah. So
dominant defense, okay offense.
That's like saying was Dan Fouts. Dan Fouts for his era was exceptionally prolific.
Yeah.
Never won a championship. But you can't deny his impact on the game with Eric Coryell and making the air raid thing a thing in that era. But there's other quarterbacks from that era that have more championships. Your Terry Bradshaw. Do I think Terry Bradshaw's a better quarterback than Dan Fouts? No, but he's got rings. 4 of them. So, I mean,
Yeah.
is Ben Roethlisberger better than Phillip Rivers? Well, Phillip Rivers is definitely better. No, they're both really annoying. That whole class of 04 is fucking annoying.
Yeah, and Eli retired, so
Yeah.
we got rid of one.
Got rid of one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Niners in the divisional round dominated the Vikings,
Stomped the shit out of those guys.
and then in the championship game against the Green Bay Packers, who outlasted Seattle in Green Bay.
Yeah, the Packers forgot to get off the bus.
Yeah, oh, good Lord, they got their teeth kicked.
They got their teeth kicked in.
And by Raheem Mostert, let's just...
Raheem Mostert,
Had
the
one
guy
of the
who's been
ga-
cut from 7 teams.
Yeah, he got cut by the Dolphins.
So here's the thing, right? Everyone was like, why was he cut? Here's why he was cut. He wasn't good enough, period. Like, there are, like, not Dre Bly. There was a running back the Steelers drafted several years ago who was insanely fast. But
Willie Parker?
No. He was a running back. He had a weird ass last name. But unless you know how to translate that speed into skill,
Yeah.
right? Because the talent's there, but the skill, you gotta have the skill. You don't stick. Mostert did not have the skill to stick on those teams, or the scheme didn't fit what he kind of running back he was. Shanahan was able to see and develop him appropriately to make him into the monster that he was. He also had the proper offensive line. You got to remember, he's from Big Daddy Shanahan, which is heavy zone blocking, which can make almost any running back look good because you're simply picking the hole.
Yep.
And if you can make one linebacker miss, you're off to the races. And Mostert learned the patience, had the speed to make a linebacker miss, and now you're running over safeties. Now your safety's chasing you. So Mostert, I very happy that he stuck and was able to take the ride all the way to the Super Bowl. But to shame the other teams that cut him, you're ignoring why he was cut. He wasn't good enough at the time. And there's plenty of talent that shows up that wasn't Josh Norman, who's not good now. But remember, at his prime, he was like a walk-on, basically. He was undrafted. Or late. He was like a super late draft. There's a lot of players who didn't
Kyle
go.
Van Noy.
There's a lot
was cut by was not wanted by the Detroit Lions.
Harrison.
Yeah.
Harrison was cut by the Steelers like 4 times. Yeah. So, I mean, it's what it is, man. But
guys who aren't getting cut, Patrick Mahomes.
Man, look.
Yo. Okay.
So,
the Houston Texans, the Chiefs spotted the Houston Texans a 24-point lead in the second quarter.
Wait, hold on. Who did the Texans play the first weekend?
The Bills.
And let's talk about how stupid that fucking game was.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Because that was a game like
16-0 and you lose 22-19.
No, not even that. The sheer mental implosion by Josh Allen and Bill O'Brien, who Bill O'Brien's a fucking fraud, for one. He's a shitty coach, and he is dragging Deshaun Watson's career through the mud as a result of his shitty coaching.
Yeah.
But Allen trying to lateral at the end of the game,
that was some stupid ass
that was
bullshit.
The weirdest, dumbest shit I think I've ever seen a quarterback do. And really, if it wasn't
really benefit.
If it wasn't for Allen falling the fuck apart at the end of the game, they would have won that game.
Oh yeah, Buffalo.
Because Bill O'Brien was intent on giving that game away. They just so happened that the young quarterback on the other sideline shit his brains out a lot harder than Bill O'Brien could have. Therefore, by default, the Texans win. Deshaun Watson getting blasted, staying on his feet and scooting. That's amazing.
It was, yeah.
But that's Deshaun Watson's brilliance. Deshaun Watson is to Bill O'Brien what fucking Aaron Rodgers is to the Beef.
Who got hired by Dallas.
You were succeeding in spite of this dumb motherfucker. You're succeeding because you're amazing, not because he's a good coach.
Really quick.
And I love that hire, by the way.
You love that?
I
wanted
that
that's
fucking
what
hire.
I know.
And I love that the Clappers and OC in New York.
Oh.
Keep it in the division, baby.
So, yeah, no, like, I'm watching this game, I'm like, oh my God, Kansas City could lose. And I'm sorry, once the Pats are out, I always root for a team that has not won it. So I was rooting hard for Houston and Minnesota at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a hard time coming to grips with the fact that I might be rooting for Tennessee because they eliminated the Patriots.
Dude, Derrick Henry's hard to root against, man.
No, he's not. And I like Vrabel.
Yeah.
Even though he hates the Patriots.
Well, he has reasons.
Yeah, he has his reasons, and I respect those reasons. But, dude, like, the onslaught of points that came about, like, Jesus Christ, it was like 24-0. All right, let's turn the switch
42 points later.
Like, they outscored him 51-7 the rest of the way. I was like, I'm sitting there watching it happen, and all I can think of is the 93 Buffalo-Houston game.
Oh, man. Is that when they had the greatest comeback with Frank Reich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
all they needed was to spot him another 10 points.
Dude. that the fucking Kansas City could do that. And we're having the discussion now because
Dude, they had the lead at halftime.
because the Super Bowl is set at this point, right? We're having these conversations. I'm in a barbershop. So
Yeah.
you got the Niners versus the Chiefs. And I'm saying, hey, look, this is the Chiefs. And they're like, why? I'm like, well, for one, the biggest benefit for the Niners is the pass rush. It is ungodly.
Yeah.
It is ungodly. But Shanahan's a coach. There's always a chance, right, that he chokes it the way which he did.
And he did. Yeah.
And I said, this isn't a mobile quarterback you're playing. Unless you can get him on his back the entire game, he will pull something out of his ass because that's what Mahomes does.
Yeah.
He's a young, really, he's fun to watch because you don't know what he's going to do. But he was panicking.
Yeah.
All right, we're on the Super Bowl now. Talking about the Super Bowl.
I guess we did. Well, I mean, we know that the Chiefs beat
The
Tennessee.
Chiefs beat the shit out of Tennessee, as they do. And
I was going to talk about the Ravens.
Oh,
and
nobody
Titans.
talking about the Ravens, right? Titans and Ravens. Sorry.
Yeah. Reel it in, big fella.
Hold on. Being here in Maryland,
All we ever heard about was how great the fucking Ravens are.
which, to be honest, during the regular season,
They had a great season.
They
yes.
earned their number one seed standing. They certainly earned it. Lamar Jackson was a fucking monster, and people couldn't defend against him. However, going into the playoffs, they assumed that whoever walked into Baltimore was going to get their asses whipped. Fans were not saying, hey, this is going to be a good game. They were saying, they can't stop this, they can't stop that, they can't stop this. There was no talking to these people.
No.
There was no, the potential that they could lose a game was inconceivable. So, it was so delicious to see them get their teeth kicked in for 60 fucking minutes on national television.
It's just sitting with Lady Dork and she's like, I wore a Brady jersey for you last year, motherfucker. You can put on a Ray Lewis jersey for me. And I was like,
that's a killer jersey right there, bro.
They finally just slapped the Ravens hat on my head, and I was like, whatever.
Fair.
I mean, and to be fair, I feel like I didn't live up to my part of the bargain because she, through her own volition, wore a Tom Brady jersey last season.
You didn't ask her to, did you?
I can't remember if I did or didn't. She's probably gonna say I did.
I think you owe her one this year.
Coming
up.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, yeah. But so I'm sitting there watching this game with her, and even I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like just watching Lamar Jackson. He had a great offensive game. The problem was, once he made that first mistake with the interception where he threw it a little too high for Andrews and it boinked off his hands.
It was done.
He was compounding mistakes the whole game.
He was done.
He was done. It was over.
So his resilience wasn't there. It's
his mental toughness.
It's the fact that they cruised. It's part of
and they were rusty.
They were rusty too. But the lack of the struggles, like you got to be able to persevere through the struggles. And I do think Lamar Jackson's a hell of a quarterback, but he showed his inexperience. In that when shit got hard, he fell apart.
Yeah.
And this is, it happens.
And I'm sorry, but the Patriots got shit on a lot this season for having an easy schedule. Let's take a look at the Ravens schedule. Because it was kind of an inverse of the Patriots in that they played the AFC East, the other teams, and then they played the AFC North twice. Whereas the Patriots played the AFC East twice and then played the North. See what I'm saying here? It's not like it was that much different. It was fairly easy, and yet nobody's shitting on them for running it up against terrible teams. I mean,
they weren't the reigning champions, so
they're always held to a higher standard.
No, you're coming off a Super Bowl victory and you get a cake-ass schedule. I don't give a fuck who you are. People are going to question that.
Yeah,
shit.
well, I mean, we're not going to hear that next year because, by the way, number one strength of schedule, New England.
You're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, we're gonna have a hard time, bro.
Have a bad time.
So the Ravens kind of shit the bed, and
well, the receivers dropped a lot of passes, and so now Lamar is trying to play hero ball, and now he's finding he can't play hero ball at this level.
Nope,
not with Tennessee's defense as good as they were.
They were really
fucking good. So
they were ready to take it out.
When he couldn't get to the edge on him, then he didn't know what to do. So
yeah, exactly,
and that's part of it, and they practiced. But it really just seemed like he just wasn't ready for that that quality of play that's required at that level.
No, and he wasn't ready for getting punched in the mouth.
He really wasn't. He wasn't expecting that slug. And Vrabel, look, having the Eagles play the Titans, his Titans teams will punch you square in the fucking mouth right off the top, and you've got to be able to roll with them. And we've lost to the fucking the Titans, and it's because
we lost 2 in a row to the Titans.
We got slugged, and we didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So Vrabel he's a good coach in that sense. He
does
get his boys playing. He gets his guys playing. I'll tell you that much. He gets them playing.
Yeah, and then Tennessee goes into Kansas City, comes to third, and then they are spotted a double-digit lead against the Chiefs.
That
doesn't faze Patrick Mahomes.
Got him right where I want him.
Yeah, I actually said that during the Super Bowl.
It's like, ooh, I saw your tweet, by the way.
Yeah.
And I was going to respond, but it was like way after the fact, and I was like, oh, you're right.
What's that?
That the Chiefs are down by 10 points. I guess he's got him right where he wants him. You tweeted that, and I was going to respond, but it was after the Super Bowl already. I don't go on Twitter very much.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I was thinking, and I was like, oh wow, they got him right where they want.
Yeah, and
I mean, like to that point, the Niners had played a good game, and good enough to be up 10 in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter. It probably could have been more if Kittle doesn't get called for the same OPI that Kyle Rudolph got away with 3 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
So, here's the thing, and this is the barbershop conversations. Like I said, if your defensive line, just the front four, can get after Mahomes and can successfully bring him down, you've got a good chance, right? Because really their game lies in, they have a good running back, but their game lies in Mahomes being able to create once he on the passing game. Because they have so much fucking speed. They've got so much speed, and Reed is so good at getting players into space that, it's Andy fucking Reid. Let's not pretend he's not one of the greatest coaches to come to the game.
Oh, yeah.
He just needed a victory in the Super Bowl to cement his Hall of Fame credentials. He's a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah,
he's a hell of a coach.
Not denying that one bit.
He's a hell of a coach.
He also, when you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes who can extend plays
you let him do
long enough for guys like Tyreek Hill to get open.
Yeah. So you do that, and I said, I just don't think that San Francisco has the offensive firepower that once Kansas City figures them out and starts scoring points to keep up, and they fucking didn't.
Yeah.
They fucking didn't. So now Kyle Shanahan has the unsavory designation of being a choke artist.
Exactly.
In the big game,
everybody was saying all he had to do was run the damn ball.
Again.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Didn't.
Nope, let's be real. They were stuffing the run.
They were. Yes.
They were absolutely. They were not consistently dominant in the run game the way you need to be if you're going to run the ball, run the clock out.
Right.
They weren't consistently, because now you're just doing 3 and outs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're burning a little extra clock, but you're still just doing 3 and outs because they know you're running the ball. Like, they had a couple good runs, but most of the game they bottled that running game up. They made Garoppolo throw the ball, and Garoppolo,
lo and behold,
he's not Patrick Mahomes.
Well, dude, the only way Jimmy Garoppolo wins rings is if he's watching Tom Brady do it on the side while he's on the sideline.
To be fair, Jimmy Garoppolo is no different than your Kirk Cousins or any of the other mediocre quarterbacks that are part of teams that have great defenses.
Uh-huh.
So, look, he's not Russell Wilson. Nope. Right? Russell Wilson is his own fucking thing. He's legitimately a top-tier fucking quarterback. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Tom Brady in his prime. He's not even fucking Carson Wentz or Dak Prescott. He's not. He's not going to win you the game. He's not going to win the game. He will keep you. He will play typically mistake-free football and let your defense fucking score enough points to do it for you.
Yeah.
But he's not going to win you the game. He's not going to put the team on his back. But they're paying him like he is. But we also lose context that that's what quarterbacks are making now.
Unfortunately, yes. People pay that level of money for mediocrity.
So I think if he wasn't a handsome Italian gentleman who was banging MILF porn stars, then the eyeballs wouldn't be on him to perform at a level that he has never performed at. Oh, according to her, he had no performance issue when it came to that.
Anywho.
Yeah, I'm just saying. They asked her about it, and so she felt the need to speak, and she was like, I did, leave the room.
Anywho.
Hey, look, hats off to the guy. He's living a dream, apparently.
Yeah,
he's doing his thing.
But he didn't get the job done on the Super Bowl.
But at the same time, anyone who was expecting him to carry that team to victory didn't watch the season.
No.
Because it was never about him. It was always about the running game and that defense.
Yep. I mean, there was even jokes about it that he only had to throw the ball for 8 times in the NFC Championship game.
Seriously, it's never been about Garoppolo. He's just he's paid highly to not make mistakes, like throwing interceptions with your eyes closed.
Right. But hey, Niners aside, the Chiefs won this game.
Chiefs fucking won it, and let me tell you how excited I am about that.
Andy Reid finally gets
it. Let me tell you right now, I don't think there was a single Eagles fan who did not want Andy to finally get his. He did. He had a lot of really good years in Philly, and everyone respected him. Everybody felt it was time for him to go because he had acquired too much control over every aspect of the team. It was too much for him.
Yeah.
He had lost the son and everything else. He just been there. It's time for him to move on. But to watch him finally win a championship, I think all Eagles fans were exceptionally fucking happy to see him get one. And I think he deserves it. I honestly, this should have been his second, but he got his first. And to me,
there are some out there who think it should have been his third, but goddamn Patriots.
It's what it is, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's what it is. McNabb puking in the game and beefing with T.O. and shit.
D Ford being offsides in last year's AFC title game.
Man, yeah, should have been. I think they would have smoked the Rams. I think they would have obliterated the Rams.
I think we were going to have a repeat of what happened on Monday Night Football in November between the two teams.
Please refresh me.
54-51 in overtime?
No. Because the Rams proved to be frauds.
Okay.
Against a not that great Patriots defense. Not that great. We're not talking early 2000s Patriots with Teddy Bruschi and all the other guys. We're not talking whatever. We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about Stephen Gilmore, who you don't throw the ball at, but there's other people you can. Suspect run defense. The Rams were frauds because they stole. Whose playbook was it?
Oh, yeah, Kyle Shanahan's.
Yeah, they stole Kyle Shanahan's
They cut and pasted it, his offense.
Didn't even change the fucking terminology. And you don't think Andy Reid would have figured out that McVay was phoning in what the coverages were to his quarterback who can't read a defense to save his life?
Yeah.
Did the Rams make the playoffs this year?
No.
You know why? Because everybody knows that now. So,
You're
McVay's
welcome.
a fraud, Goff's a fraud. Fucking
okay,
both.
fine.
The Chiefs would have
Hey.
the Chiefs. That would have not been the most boring Super Bowl. It would have been a great Super Bowl because somebody would get the doors taken off, a la Broncos versus Seattle. Just
Hey, so
up and down ass
do you
whooping.
agree with Frank Clark proclaiming the Chiefs to be a dynasty?
No. I think, here's the thing. You don't get to proclaim yourself as a dynasty. The Eagles, we did the shit, and then other fucking dumbass teams have done it. Don't do it.
No, don't.
Here's why. You don't get to proclaim that you're dynastic until you are actually dynastic, and then the media says you're a dynasty.
Yep.
Right? The Niners of the 80s didn't consider themselves a dynasty. Everyone else did. The Cowboys of the 90s were a dynasty. They didn't consider themselves that. They were named that for their prolonged success of championships.
The Patriots
did not call themselves a dynasty. They were given that label. You can't. It's like a nickname. You don't give yourself a nickname. The nickname.
No.
You were given a nickname whether you want it or not, and that's what you roll with.
That's exactly it.
That's how dynasties work, right? So would I like to see the Eagles or the Chiefs or some shit become a dynasty? It'd be interesting, certainly. But you don't get to proclaim yourself dynastic after a single championship.
No.
String together 3 or 4 of them, and then when they go,
We'll talk then. Yeah.
then when they go, well, this team's, this is their dynasty.
Hell,
When you dominate a decade, then you get to be called a dynasty.
Yeah, exactly. And we just started the Roaring 20s.
Yeah, the Steelers of the 70s were a dynasty.
Yeah.
They won 4
Yeah,
championships
not only
out of
that,
10.
but,
That's a dynasty.
I mean, Frank, to be really honest here, your team just won its first Super Bowl in 50 fucking years.
No, but he wasn't there the first one. But
No, Hank Stram and Len Dawson were.
just look,
I know.
you don't get to consider yourself a dynasty.
No, you don't.
You don't. You earn the title through prolonged success because no one called the Patriots a dynasty when they won their first one.
No.
They were an upstart, plucky fucking team who managed to win. And over
Funny
time,
thing you mentioned
they
that first
became
Super
a
Bowl.
dynasty.
Funny thing you mentioned that first Super Bowl. Speaking of team players proclaiming themselves dynasties, Ricky Prohl right before they run out on the field. Tonight a dynasty is born. He was right, just not the way he wanted to be. You don't do that. Exactly. We see how that worked out for him, right?
Yeah, it didn't work out.
No. So anyway,
Well, he wasn't wrong.
yeah, so
He just wasn't
Super
right.
Bowl was
or-
actually I will give you that it was a much better game, and I enjoyed it.
Much better game. Much better game.
But now the 2019 season is over, and we're moving on to 2020.
So, outlook for the Eagles, man. A lot of needs. All right.
Yeah.
Here's what we have locked up. We have a starting quarterback locked up. We have Starting running back locked up. We don't have a second. We don't know what we're doing with Jordan Howard. We don't have a backup quarterback because McCown is done. There's discussion of whether or not he's going to be brought on as a coach of some type.
Yeah.
The Eagles don't have an offensive coordinator this year. Apparently, the Eagles waited too long to sign one, and all the good ones were off the market, so they're doing this weird thing where Doug Peterson's going to do it. And to be fair, he's not a bad play caller. When he throws all fucks to the wind, the second he tries to play smart and conservative, he kind of sucks. Eagles have a lot of need at wide receiver and defensive back. Right, the Malcolm Jenkins question. You're going to give this guy a new deal. He has outperformed his contract. He's played almost every defensive snap since he's been there. Guy's never been hurt. He's always there. He performs at a high level. You're going to pay him what he's worth? I don't know. We're going to find out. Remember, he held out in camp last year.
Yeah.
And he had a conversation with Howie Roseman. Then he came back. So I don't know what drug deal was made, but I know he did not get a contract throughout the season. So I don't know if somebody's reneging on a deal or what happened exactly, but Malcolm Jenkins never got paid.
Yeah.
Ronald Darby's a free agent. Mills is a free agent. You got a lot of players that are going to be in position to walk, and the Eagles are going to let them walk. Right? That whole secondary, maybe the entire secondary is going to be replaced with new talent. Your receivers were all busted. You have a Deshaun Jackson coming back from a significant core injury. He would have been good to play had the Eagles won the wild card game. He would have been good to play that next game.
Damn.
So coming into the next season, he should be even more healed. Okay, let's be real. Wentz likes to throw deep. He just needs someone who can run under it. Aguilar is going to be gone. Anonymous Alshon Jeffrey may or may not find himself traded at some point. There's going to be a huge upheaval. So now the question is, do the Eagles focus on receiver or do they focus on defensive back in the draft? And that's a good question. The Eagles, Howie Roseman in particular, has not had success drafting receivers.
No.
Has not. So I think that they need to focus on defensive backs. Their value is you were able to make it happen with practice squad guys because they ran the routes correctly. And Wentz put the ball where he had to, and the separation, while Minute was there, and they had good hands. They caught the fucking ball. So, do you need big-name, top-end receivers? Nice to have it, but you know what's even better? Having defenders that can nullify the other guy's top-end receiver.
Yeah.
Right? Having a Jalen Ramsey minus the shit-talking of Jalen Ramsey. Having Jalen Ramsey without the personality of Jalen Ramsey is nice. Stephen Gilmore. Having a player that takes away an entire half of the field. That's something you want. So I think that's where the Eagles need to focus. Honestly, early in the draft is defensive back because them on the rookie contract, because the cornerbacks are extremely expensive second time around. That's what you want to go with.
Yep.
You can get yourself adequate receivers in the third round, fourth round. You get yourself decent receivers. But we'll see what they do. I'm pretty sure they're going to draft a receiver in the first round, and it's good. I hope it's not a bust, but history is not on our side when it comes to our wideouts being drafted. So, outlook for the Patriots 2020.
God. Well,
Tom
thing happens.
Tom Brady's a free agent.
Tom Brady is testing free agency, apparently. Now, the Patriots are going to do everything in their power to get him signed before the free agent signing window opens.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, he can talk to teams 48 hours prior, figure out what his market is. At this point, though, are you really wanting to learn a new offense? Do you want to go to the LA Chargers and die behind that offensive line?
At the same time, he's never made his market value. He's always given
exactly. I know that
a discount to the Patriots.
But that money is not a concern to him. He's coming to the end of his career. He wants to win more championships.
Remember end of the line Jordan, his last few years of the Bulls. He was breaking them off in the pocketbooks for a lot of years. He took a discount.
Yeah.
Because he was making money off endorsements, right? He wanted them to put players around him to win championships, and he did that. Same thing with I see Brady following a similar trajectory. I think for once he's gonna want to be paid what he's fucking worth.
I agree with that assessment, and I think he probably will get paid what he's worth this year. I don't know that it's with New England because we got to create the cap room.
Yeah.
And not only that, we got to create the cap room to upgrade the offense.
Do you think Edelman's going to be around?
Edelman's under contract for another season.
But do you think he's going to be around? Like, what's the cap hit for let him go?
Oh, the cap hit's like more than what we would have paid him.
You extended him? You restructured him at some point? Because he's still...
They might restructure Edelman's deal.
Restructuring normally puts money back further, which means that you eat that cap hit way like it's ugly later on.
Yeah. And I think that they've already done that with Edelman's deal.
Yeah,
and then not only that, They're keeping Edelman, unfortunately.
So Gronk's gone, so his contract's gone.
Yeah,
They're gonna go by
Antonio
Gronk.
Brown, we might be getting the money back from him.
You could, because he's a fucking head case.
Yeah, there's an issue of the linebacking core could be devastated this offseason. Kyle Van Noy, Jamie Collins, both free agents.
Collins free agent again.
But yeah, I mean, he was signed for a cheap 1-year show-me deal.
That's because he got exiled to Cleveland. And
Yeah, well, and he got his money there, but I think he likes being able to ply his wares within a good defense.
It's nice when people don't suck around you.
Yeah, he's learned his lesson. He's not going to freelance anymore. I think the thing is, I see Dante Hightower being a cap casualty.
Probably.
He has an $11 million salary and only a $3 million dead money cap hit.
He's gone.
I think he's gone. Also, Mohamed Sanu, who we traded our second-round pick for middle of the season, $6.5 million salary.
Nope, keep him.
No dead cap charge.
I think you keep him, though.
Because you gave up the second.
And he contributed greatly on the field for you.
Yeah, he had 26 catches, and 10 of them were in the Baltimore game.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I could have swore he was a... Wait, no. Where was he at before?
Atlanta.
He was doing good shit in Atlanta.
Yeah. So, what Sanu, along with guys like Jacoby Meyer, we've got young, undrafted, rookie free agent wide receivers that Tom Brady was pissed about having to develop. It's like, dude, I'm at the end of my career. I shouldn't have to develop youngins.
You got to develop them.
But you got to develop them. Now, so they got to create the cap room in order to, A, re-sign Brady at market value.
Yes.
B, get him some weapons. And there's talk about sending a 5th or 7th round pick to Cleveland for David Njoku, who seems to have fallen out of favor.
Really?
Yeah, he was a healthy scratch 6 weeks in a row after he came back from injured reserve. He has fallen out of favor, and quite frankly, I don't blame him for falling out of favor with that organization. You know why McDaniels turned down the Cleveland Browns job, by the way, right?
Because they're a shit show? Because they're Cleveland?
Yeah. Kevin Stefanski wound up taking the job because he would agree to the stipulation that he turns in a game plan to the baseball executive we clowned 2 years ago, who, by the way, he works from home in L.A. Are you fucking kidding me?
God damn, Cleveland, please stop doing this
Yeah,
to yourself,
analytics
man.
department has to go over his game plan. They will make suggestions on Friday.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah. So McDaniels told him to fuck off. And while he was held up with finishing his end of the season duties, Joe Judge, the special teams coach, got to go interview with the Giants.
Why is anyone interviewing McDaniels? He's a fucking piece of shit snake. After that shit with Denver and Indianapolis, why would you want this motherfucker in your organization?
I thought he was scorched too.
Like, I am one less Frank Reich because of this asshole.
Anywho.
Fuck him. Like, seriously, why he reneged on a fucking deal with the Colts.
And he had a coaching staff in place.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
But then again, this is Cleveland, so I don't expect good decisions out of them because they literally had all the talent on the planet.
Well, and not only that, but McDaniels knows this is if he does get another head coaching shot, it's his last chance.
He's not going to go to a top tier organization. He's not.
Well, yeah, but he knows that he would want a better situation than goddamn
I thought they
Cleveland.
were keeping him in New England. I Belichick was going to hang it the fuck up. That's why
He's keeping it. Belichick might coach into his 70s
because Kraft lured McDaniels out of that contract with the Colts. When he burned the Colts, he burned McDaniels going anywhere worth the shit.
Yeah,
Kraft
and
did
I
that.
honestly,
And if
wholeheartedly agree with you. I think that he is nowhere but New England for the rest of his
if
life.
I'm McDaniels, I don't do that unless I know I have a job in New England. Unless there's already a deal between Kraft and Belichick and myself that I'm going to be taking over within this amount of years.
Yeah.
So for him to be talking to any fucking body at this point, that anybody even entertaining this shit, is looking real fucking suspect about what happened a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That's looking real fucking suspect now. Like, someone fucking lying.
Yeah.
Or someone simply didn't think about what was going to happen later on. Someone or Kraft just doesn't give a fuck. But
anyway,
I'm just saying, like,
I got you.
If Kraft doesn't keep him, Kraft's the bigger dickhead in this.
Yeah. So McDaniels is going to be back to run the offense.
He's good.
Oh, okay. I thought
He
there
wants
was
to go
a dog
bark at.
outside.
He wants to bark at Gary the possum.
Yeah. So we got. So they're going to target David Njoku probably from Cleveland. And, he would be a lower cost option than Austin Hooper or Hunter Henry, the two better free agent. There's talk that they might go after O.J. Howard in Tampa Bay. That might cost a lot more.
It's going to cost a lot of money.
I think so. A.J. Green's a free agent. They said to be in on him.
Good luck with that. The Eagles might be looking at him.
Yeah, it's going to be a bidding war for him. I would love for A.J. Green to be in New England, but you have to have Tom Brady there for that to happen.
Yeah.
And the Raiders are prepared to offer Brady 2 years, $60 million.
Raiders are ready to open up the pocketbooks for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Mark Davis talking to him in Las Vegas, really, I was like,
Mark Davis is such a weird person.
Yeah, you get away from him, Lloyd.
Lloyd.
It was Harry Dunn. He looked more like Harry than Lloyd.
Such a weird guy.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of pieces that needed to be sorted out. We're not going to know shit until St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, fair.
My outlook, I see Tom staying with the Patriots. Everything falls into place there. They get their tight ends. They get their premier wide receiver. And then they draft to replace the defenders that they're going to have to let go. I think that Van Noy's going to get overpaid. I think Dante Hightower is going to be cut. And I think that you build around Jamie Collins in the linebacking corps.
Interesting.
I think I wouldn't go so far as to say they might even let go of Jason McCourty. That's another $9 million in cap savings. So, there are a lot of moving parts, but the big domino has to fall first. So, I see Tom staying in New England, though.
I don't. I see him going somewhere else. I see him trading in that weather for something a lot sunnier. He's a California boy. He's going to go head west. And he might do what every other washed up talent does and just go to Vegas.
Wait a minute. Were you washed up talents for getting married there?
No.
Okay.
No. Think of the acts on the strip, the Celine Dion's and all the other singers that performed every fucking night. Yeah,
well, we were kind of bummed that Aerosmith is not going to be there for their residency while we're there.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Because she's a huge Aerosmith fan.
Aerosmith's a good band.
Oh, but I do, regardless of where Tom Brady signs, the day after we get there, I'm going to Allegiant Stadium and I'm holding up a sign. It wasn't a fumble, you jackasses!
You think that any other Raiders fans that don't exist there are going to give a fuck?
No.
Every game's going to be in a way.
All right, so that wraps up our outlooks for 2020.
It does. What's next on the docket, sir?
XFL is back.
So all right, XFL. First of all, fuck Vince McMahon. Really, seriously.
Yeah,
fuck him with
his
the cactus.
anti-kneeling ass.
Like I said.
He's a Trump-supporting ass.
Yeah, like I said. If we're going to watch the NFL, in spite of all the fuckery that they engage in, then we can't be mad at Vince for engaging in what is the same fuckery, because it's the same shit.
He's got next-level fuckery. He tried to buy a Senate seat in Connecticut for his wife.
He's not the only one.
Yeah, true, fine.
Like I said, doing dirty shit and then doing dirty shit brazenly, you're still doing dirty shit, everyone's a piece of shit.
But on top of that, unlike Donald Trump, who just says, you're fired. At least Vince, when he fires you, there's some throat to it.
Here's my thing about the XFL, though.
But the
XFL, I think, is not a bad product as it stands right now. It's entertaining, and it's not competing directly with professional football. It has some interesting rule changes that the NFL may want to look at. The games are entertaining. The lack of filter between the players and the microphone is refreshing, right? You hear an F-bombs, this is entertaining.
This is the XFL.
So in respects to the product, I'm okay with the product, right? The assholes behind it, look, no matter if you look at any fucking organization, whether it be baseball, basketball, hockey, there's dickheads doing dickhead things that make your fucking skin crawl.
Yes.
Right? The NBA was all progressive until the China shit popped off. Then we're like, oh, we don't want to ruin that Chinese money. And so we're not going to talk about the whole oppression thing. Yeah. So you got to pick and choose, what stands you want to take, which is your right to do so. This is part of the liberties that we provide for a lot of years in our lives.
Yeah.
You can choose what kind of things you get upset about. But you kind of have to accept that these things are all immoral corporations that are designed to make money.
Yeah.
And they're going to do what they got to do to make money. And if they feel that, this is how they're going to leverage themselves to get into favor, to get money, to make money, to stay relevant, then that's what they're going to do. They don't give a fuck about any morals or stands until later on. Then they can say, we've always supported this. And people go, yeah, you're right, you always have. Because fuckers have the memories are fucking weak. People are stupid. And it's just what it is. So I'm not going to get my panties in a bunch about Vince McMahon. I'm going to say, as an individual, fuck him.
as an individual, but
Right,
as,
but
as
the
far as
hundreds of players that are in the XFL right now, I am interested in the product they're putting their bodies in the line for.
Yeah, I mean, like, seriously, the first day of games was actually rather entertaining.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
The DC
I only caught a
Defenders
little bit.
captivated me.
I only caught a little bit. I think they should replace the other team in Washington.
Yeah.
They're certainly better.
Yeah, Wasp team, you're on notice.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the second day apparently when the New York team got involved was pretty bad, though. Yeah,
They're bad.
but, you know, hey, you're not expecting NFL caliber play here. You're slightly better than college with different rules. Everybody's still learning the rules.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to tell you, the fact that they can do a 1, 2, or 3-point conversion.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, the 3-point conversions from 10 yards out.
Ooh.
Whereas, like, the 2 points from the 5 and the 1 points from the 2. They don't kick extra points.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There's a lot of little rule tweaks for speeding up the flow of gameplay.
Yeah, because
It goes quicker.
yeah, it doesn't need commercial breaks and dumb shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a slick, fresh presentation on an old product. I think McMahon was smart and took a look at what he did before. And the original XFL, they were trying to make it a tough guy league.
Edgy.
Yeah, edgy with cheerleaders in lingerie, basically, and guys basically blowing out their knees and their ACLs, running down the field for the ball in the scrum for the ball at the beginning of the game to get the ball first.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It was a bit of a shit show, but hey, we got He Hate Me out of the deal.
He hate me. Smart is his last
Rod
name.
Smart, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did. He was an Eagle for a minute, and he was
Carolina Panther. Yeah,
a Panther.
Yeah. But and that's the other thing is, you know, guys using this as a springboard to the NFL.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot more of a viable alternative to the NFL.
Than NFL Europe was.
And it's also going to be a more viable springboard for some guys who are on their last chance or who didn't quite impress scouts enough prior. So, I mean, I'm a little excited about it there, and I think that as long as the Dallas or St. Louis team doesn't win the championship or the, you know.
That's fair.
I'm all in on the Houston Roughnecks.
I don't have a favorite XFL team. I've only watched a few minutes of games, but
the Tampa Bay Vipers.
I like that they're using a pirate theme. I like that.
I do too.
Because when I think of Tampa Bay, I don't think of Vipers. I don't even know if they have
Yeah.
Vipers in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but it's a lot of and the jerseys and the helmets are pretty cool looking.
They
too.
are. They are.
Yeah.
They're, D1 habitually shits on jersey design for teams. She
Yeah.
especially hates the Raiders jerseys.
Oh,
She says they make her sad.
it's just too simple.
They're bland. They make her sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But so I guess we're on to our shitty hot take, yeah? Because there's
Shitty
no
hot
beer.
take
There's no
time.
beer this week because
Nah.
I gotta watch my weight. At least until after my surgery, then I can go.
I gotta
fucking
fit
balls
into
deep.
I gotta fit into a tuxedo in 7 weeks.
See, we're doing it. We're doing it for us. We gotta take care of ourselves, listeners.
Exactly. Holy super shitty indefensible hot takes, Diggler. What are we gonna do now?
Johnny, Dork, to the take mobile. Okay, hold on. I guess I just gotta get this started. Hold on. It takes a minute. It's kind of old. All right.
Really?
All right. I think. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go. All right. All right. Shitty take of the week. I think. I think Tom Brady leaves New England. Right? I think he leaves New England, goes to Vegas, and goes to the AFC Championship against New England. That is so fucking improbable. Yet somehow there's a chance it could happen.
Like, who's the quarterback for New England?
It doesn't fucking matter. It's Belichick coaching. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out. Well,
Brady versus Belichick. That would be fascinating.
That's must-see TV right there. They're gonna do 30 for 30 on that.
Oh yeah, like who is actually the brains and the
Who
brawn?
actually was the one?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm all for that. I actually want to see that take play out. For once, I'm hoping my shitty take is shitty enough to actually work.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it does too.
What's your shitty take, Kenny?
Put me on the spot here. Houston Astros. It will be revealed that the Houston Astros, yes, they were still using cheating in 2019, but Jose Altuve will reveal the reason why he used the buzzer under his jersey, not to find out when the pitches were coming, but because he liked the shock feeling on his testicles.
You know, I'm not gonna kink shame him. I'm just saying, it's consenting adultness.
Hey, you know,
That's
perfectly
fine.
normal, and think of how good he must feel.
Just, go team. Yo, shocker on the nipples, you never know.
Hey, hook a car battery up to your nuts, all I care,
Why is he dragging a wagon of car batteries behind him? Oh, it's because he's got electrodes hooked to his balls and his nips. Oh, okay, that's... I'm not gonna...
And we digress. This has been a fun show, a long show, but we have had a good time, sir.
Yeah, it has been. So we're going to definitely try to make Season 5 a lot more productive than Season 4 was. I'm not sure how feasible that is, because if Kenny's going to go and get with Lady Dork and make other little dorks, he's going to be occupied with little dorks.
Occupado.
So it may just be, once again, just me here talking and shit, but we'll figure it out.
I'll pop in.
Yeah, well, let's figure it out,
In between, changing diapers and, neonatal visits and all that stuff.
Yeah, man, it's all part of it, man. Good time.
It'd be like that sometimes.
It's all part of it.
Anyway, hey, it's great wrapping up another season with you.
It is. It's as usual, man. It's been real.
It's been fun,
and it has indeed been real fun. So for one last time this season.
Okay, come on, it's not the series finale.
No. For one last time this season, Dirt Diggler and
They Dork.
Out.